Welcome, beautiful divine masculine and feminine darlings. I don't plan to be here for too long. In fact, I'm actually quite excited to go hang out with myself. So let's dive into this. I had this read to finish up from last night. I was called to split the energy. Now I understand why. I suspect it will probably cross over, so we'll see where that goes. But I also got a vision of a couple of decks earlier. As far as the title bar goes, I ended up doing my nails again this morning, and when I got done doing them, I started getting downloads about some of the imagery that I picked. Karmic is very angry. Why are you so mad? She says it's a karmic female because you always have to be right about everything. Well, if you weren't so ignorant, you wouldn't be wrong. If you weren't so willing to admit that you were wrong when you were wrong so that you could course correct to be correct, then you might be correct sometimes, but you're not because you're stubborn and you're incorrect. So anyway, moving on. Let's get down to the symbology. First and foremost, let's see, it doesn't like to register unless I do it this way. We have a moon, also that helps, and stars, and then on the flip side, the sun. Then also did this one. So there's a lesson on consent happening this week, I'd say. That some of these karmics are being forced to learn the hard way. And then this one was a little nod to my business partner that died. You see. Oh, butterflies. Why? You get down, sir. In fact, that's a moth. Now, this was him. They called him the Bug Man. Somebody says, what's on the other side? The same thing. 422. I don't know if it'll show up. Hold on. It's the same thing. Anyway, that's that. So, first and foremost, I'm going to finish up the psychology, behavioral science social science cards from last night. The overarching energies on these karmic plagiarizers, just as a whole, is materialistic philosophy. So they're very greedy. They'll do whatever they feel like they need to people to get what they want. Mind you, these are human distortions, so these are karmic people and they're being called out for it. Also, just so we're clear, I'm not making any of these words up or these terms. I'm not insulting them. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. Slavery, loss of employment. Yeah, so for stealing from others, that's what's going to happen to them, whether it be that the divine strips them. Oh yeah, that's right. I did have some symbology I picked up earlier too. Strips them of... I'm getting a couple of downloads. I'll write this down. Hold on. Whether the divine strips them of whatever opportunities they thought that they were going to take, or in some cases, I mean, it's really both in this case as well, but in some cases, it's actually that these people are going to be facing litigation for stealing. It's not a small issue. It's not a small thing. They think it is, but they lack ethics and cognizance if that's the case. And if that's the case, then they're not qualified to be stealing. They're not qualified to be making decisions or deciding whether or not stealing is a good idea or whether it's a small issue or not. Because they're willing to do things like that, they're not a good judge of character or cognizance. So, no, they've gaslit themselves into thinking that it's not a huge deal. And for me personally, the even bigger problem is not the problem. It's not whether it was $1 or 1 million. It's not whether they think it's a big problem or a small problem. The problem for me is the principle, right? I'm big on principle. And so the fact that you had the sheer audacity, yeah, that's the problem for me, whether it was $1 or 1 million. It's energy theft. You're trying to steal pieces of someone else's spirit, their soul, and you may not do that. We do not, turning away on much your eyes, just me, we do not consent. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm also picking up that I need to pull some herbology out. Let's do that too. Careful, baby kitty. Thank you. I love you, buddy. Loss of employment, difficulty finding work. Ah, yes. One of them is upset, right in the heart chakra. They're trying to throw daggers. That's why my voice got stern. Did you hear that? The lurker dropped off, though. Exile, flight, laziness, avoids responsibilities, lack of goals, intensity, scarcity of ideas. Yeah, see, I just got very Scorpio stern there. These people lack. They're in lack frequency. They're too preoccupied with matter, exhaustion, coldness, isolation, and that's why they were attacking the heart chakra. They want me to be in that energy. You want to get petty. It's not turning out well for you. Not the way you wanted it to, not the way you thought or hoped. Doesn't understand the inherent meaning of work, precisely. It's also why they thought that they could snatch something from someone, but again, when whatever they're trying to copy from someone else requires a level of not only understanding, but ethical code and principle just to navigate and run those lifestyles and have a career through that process, yeah, they don't have that. Based on the fact that they're willing to do this, it tells me they don't, because the two are not conducive. If you're willing to do one, it means you don't have the other. End of discussion. There is no middle ground there. You can't claim to be a light worker or starseed while being willing to steal from actual light workers and starseeds, or anybody for that matter, because what you're claiming to be is a person who stands up against that type of behavior that you're absolutely willing to commit, like a karmic. Because karmic, you're a karmic. You can put a label on yourself all you want, but your behavior is what classifies you and characterizes you. And, well, yours, baby, says that you lied. 9:22 on the clock here on the East Coast and 10:22 on the count. In fact, evidentiary. Forcing destiny, seeking success at any cost, personal glory. And so that's that whole, well, I want what you have, so even though it's not meant for me, because I'm willing to undercut people to get what I want, which means I'm not a light worker, I'm a karmic. I want so desperately to be titled as a light worker, I'm going to try to steal your life and your blessings and your destiny, even though that's karmic behavior, while I desperately try to claim your crown as a light worker, which is delusional, but you see, they got caught doing it. And that's why God said, no. You're claiming to be a God person while being a little demon? No, you got cast out. Straight to hell you go. Unstable, tumultuous, emotional life, competitive love, passionate relationship, perverted desires. They shouldn't have been reaching for those things, no. Aversions, fights, quarrels, vulgarity, overly emotional, excessive willpower, spitefulness. Yeah, see, there it is. Spitefulness due to lack of recognition for one's errors. So let's say it's one of these plagiarizer energies, stealing. They get caught stealing from me and I call them out. Just as an example, they get so offended that they got called out that they think that they have the right to retaliate. They don't seem to think it's a problem that they stole, which is the only reason somebody would have to clap back at them and call them out, but they're offended that they got called out. And that's delusional. That's, well, either borderline personality disorder, I'd say, or narcissism, or sociopathy, or some kind of crossover between the two, because someone can have both. If they have one, they can have another. Just based on observation. And there's a karmic very insulted by that statement. I'm not insulting you, I'm observing you. I say this because the copycat mirroring thing, yeah, that's either borderline personality often or narcissism. It's a cluster B personality disorder. It's a mental illness. It's not normal behavior. Normal people don't do that. It's a sign of some kind of cluster B. I'm not insulting you. Also, the whole thing where, especially with borderline, but narcissists do it too. Come here, my love. Come here, honey bunny. Go see me. You want a little snacky? Come here, baby. Oopsies. Little treat. Come here, little one, Chi-Chi. One for you. Oh, you like these ones, huh? You're so cute. Just a cutie. I'll give you another one after you have more dinner, okay? But I don't want to spoil the treats right now. My little cutie pie. 13:22. Anyway, excuse me, cat mom. Duty's called. As far as the playing the victim, feeling like they're being victimized when they're being called out, that also is indicative of borderline personality. I'm not being mean, I'm just observing. You need some kind of psychological evaluation professionally. But normal people don't do that. It's some kind of cluster B, those behaviors. Worsening one's karma and difficult destiny. And that's why they got mad. That's why their karma got worse. They were supposed to stop, right? They imbalanced the universal scales when they did whatever they did. If we had to call them out and expose them for doing that, that was us balancing the scales back out. That should have been where it ended. 14:22. But you see, they didn't want to acknowledge what they'd done wrong. So they tried to claim that us calling them out, well, they claimed they were innocent, was wrong. And we're not wrong for calling them out, and they're not innocent. So that was fair and justified. However, because they were being spiteful, they did not want to acknowledge that they did wrong. They decided to attack. They were already attacking, maybe even covertly. They got caught, they got called out for it. And instead of saying, okay, yeah, you're right, I shouldn't have done that, they got mad and tried to cover it up and attack more. whether overtly or covertly, it doesn't matter, or both, spiritually speaking or otherwise. Spitefulness due to lack of recognition of one's errors, offenses, and misdeeds, you see. And so because they chose to attack back, they imbalanced the scales when they caused problems. We balanced it by speaking it. They chose to imbalance it or imbalance it more by attacking again. And then their karma started coming back and their life started turning upside down. Things started crumbling, accidents, just things not working out for them. And some of them thought, okay, well, maybe the person I targeted is doing spell work on me. No, that's your karma coming back. Or they didn't acknowledge that it was their karma. They were just, oh, woe is me, poor me, my life is going to crap, even though it's because of what they just got caught universally, right? Universally caught doing to the light workers they were targeting. And so because they were so uncomfortable and upset and disappointed with their life because they started to catch karma, they decided to take that misery that they were feeling from the karma that they were catching and attack light workers again. Instead of sitting down and acknowledging that they're uncomfortable because the universe is trying to tell them to stop. But you see, they don't want to stop because they have conflicting rebellious spirits. They don't want peace. They don't want, I hear animosity. These are, oh, there it is. That's why. They don't want peace. They don't want balance. They don't actually want a resolution. They want what they want. They want to be able to do what they want, to take what they want. It's not an option. It's not okay. It's not legal. It's not viable. So it will never fly. But they think because they have this sense of entitlement and they want it, and so they've decided that that's what they're going to do, then you're wrong for getting in their way of violating your rights and not letting them steal from you. And again, that's their delusion, not your pickle to deal with. That is their personal pickle. And they're going to choke on the whole thing. Whole. I heard gag me with a spoon. Well, choked out with a pickle of their own making and volition. Pride, blasphemy, I told you. Rivalry, animosity, and people trying to copy me, for example, you know. Blasphemy, sacrilege, December 8th to December 12th, May 12th, July 26th in the afternoon. Actually, you know what? The one I was reading on last night, I noticed one of the posts that she was making, copying aspects of me, my personality. She made it on the date that my husband died, the calendar date. So it was right about there. May 12th, July 26th in the afternoon, July 27th, October 7th, December 20th, February 28th, February 29th, 5 p.m. to 5:19 p.m. So a few things, just to be clear, what these numbers and dates are either times and dates of the crimes that were committed or when they're catching their karma back for them. Or this could be birth dates, death dates, anniversaries of the people who committed the issues, committed the atrocities, the crimes, the thefts. Or they could be birth dates, death dates, anniversaries, etc. of the people involved, the victims, in this case, me, and my husband, who's spirit guide, hello, has been since 2016. Then you had destruction, collapse of structures, unfavorable period. Yeah, see, the karma is going to get worse for them because they were greedy. Like I said, excess, diabolic strategy, 1922. Error in preparing, planning, and evaluating. They made a poor choice when they did this. Aggression, ungratefulness, boastfulness, hypocrisy, emphasis placed on the facade, a lack of authenticity, person who does not keep their word or promises. March 31st to April 4th, March 23rd, June 5th, August 19th in the afternoon, August 20th, November 1st, January 11th, 12:40 a.m. to 12:59 a.m. Okay. Those were the overarching energies. Then you have, my darlings, the light worker energy in this 2022, who has a perception of unity and as a result success in human relationships, initiator of projects and enterprises dedicated to the service of the divine, mastery of emotions, sense of organization and altruism, administrator, coordinator, planner, merchant, banker, businessman at the service of the divine, visionary, industrialist, manufacturer, logic, practical intelligence, ease of communication, global vision of events, citizen of the universe. And then you had the karmic on the flip side. Manipulates and exploits others, illicit means, shady deals, drug trafficking, drugs and alcohol and such were coming out in the reading last night too about this person. Opportunist, dishonest, greedy, dissatisfied perfectionist, manages in an over-analytical manner, squandering, permissiveness, sloppiness, bankruptcy, loss in business because they shouldn't have been stealing, insoluble problems, acting too hastily, poor use of capital and resources, possessiveness, forcing destiny and placing importance on results, even at the expense of ruining their reputation in the process and putting themselves in a legal bind because they wanted so badly to get the outcome that they wanted. They didn't care what laws they were breaking or whose toes they were stepping on and legally trampling on, or illegally rather, but causing legal violations for. They didn't care. It was a short-lived win in a very misguided sense of success, because similarly to how a criminal thinks that if they get away with a crime for a time period, then they'll get away with it forever. And that's not the case. Just because 2222, just because they dragged out a system and a cycle for some time does not mean they got away with it. In fact, the longer they drag out the system, the longer victims suffer through that process, the more crimes they commit in the process, the worse that they make it, the worse the penalty is on the other side of it. The fines and the financial losses that they take are much more because the damages they have to pay back out are greater. And not even just based on the finances, including the inconveniences, pain and suffering and such that they may have caused the victims they were stealing from and targeting, but also any sentences or jail time in the cases where this applies will also be maxed out because they made it worse. They will not get minimum sentences, they will max them out. They will not get minimum penalties, they will max them out. For those that applies to. I'm picking up a couple of energies. Some of it's stealing, but I'm picking up something about drugs too. On that max out energy. Not just. Hi babies. Bankruptcy, loss in business. Poor use of capital, possessiveness, forces destiny, places importance on results. August 23rd to August 28th, April 21st, so that's funny. That's the birthday of one of the main people who sent these chaos and conflict spells out, recruited people to do it. July 4th, July 5th, oh, that was the week that one of these psycho locals tried to stir the pot as well. September 17th, November 29th, February 7th, yeah, that was recently too. I noticed some incidents that this person was stealing and posting on that date when I was documenting evidence for the lawyers as it popped up yesterday. 10 a.m. to 10:19 a.m. Okay, so what's their karma in relation to how their business is going to play out? Intellectual aberration, destructive writings, broadcastings, and influences that are negative to humanity. So this is how people see them and will see them. Mental opacity, incomprehension. They will continue to be oblivious and not have a grip on things clearly. possibly reality even. Sterility, so nothing that they try to grow or create will flourish. This may even be that they, because they're willing to target women and children, they're not girls, if they're karmic females doing this to divine feminines, taking food and resources from them, which should be going to their children, they won't be able to have kids themselves. Sterility. For those that did or do, they have or will have rebellious, disrespectful children, or these are the disrespectful children, right? These overgrown adult children, but they are currently disrespectful adult children, overgrown, overbearing. Fire burns everything on its path. Maybe a toxic fire sign. In fact, actually, the one from last night absolutely was. And I mentioned this is sacrilege and blasphemy. Somebody trying to dress up like angels. Somebody not only who's trying to play fairy, but also literally stole my name, SeraFae, which is a cross between seraphim and fae. That's something that the holy angels called me. That's something that I've copyrighted, and I have had copyrighted for years. So you can't do that. She can't do that, but she tried. And she's trying to cosplay and make a whole character scene up about my real life. Even my username here, Seraphim Emerald Gem Gypsy, is not a little stage name. It's not a cute little thing. No, that's really who I am. Seraphim, that's my angelic rank. Emerald is my birthstone. Gem is a play on words for Gemini, but also, what is a emerald but a gem? Okay, and then Gypsy, I got no roots. My home was never on the ground. These people keep trying to mess with my life and tear down what I have, and I've had to consistently rebuild and readjust, and I mean, like, that's that, bruh. Stay away from me. Also, we won't even get into the past life ties to the Romani there, but moving on. Traveling like gypsies in the night. And did you know that that's why gypsies, by the way? That's what this whole song is about. Having a house on wheels, a caravan. Do you know why the gypsies had caravans? Because people wouldn't leave them alone. They would set up shop. And I hear that. Somebody said something about grifter. Well, that's where these past life energies are being called out. Some of them. Yeah, some of these people were grifters, but no, I was not. And not all were. Some people, that stereotypical classic, like fake psychic gypsy grifter caravan shows up at a little pop-up circus or carnival somewhere. You know what I'm talking about, like the freak shows. No, we're not talking about that. Absolutely, some of them took advantage of that. Those are not isolated to gypsies. Those are just old school common grifter tactics. In fact, they're so common that there's a Wikipedia page about that particular one. That's not new. However, they built their homes on wheels because people kept attacking them. And instead of having to rebuild after someone would come and burn their town or their home or their village down, they learned to quickly just pack everything up, put it on wheels, and head out of town to set up in a new place. It was persecutory. Fire that burns everything in its path. In fact, that's what they did. Like I said. It's why these people are aggressive and nasty, especially when they're being called out for theft and plagiarism. It's giving Romani gypsy past life energy. In fact, that's exactly where some of this is coming from. Not for all of these plagiarizers, but if you wanted to know why some of these people have been so impulsive and they just can't seem to stop, it's because they keep replaying this persecution of Romani gypsy energy out, and that's a no for me. They don't realize necessarily what they're doing, but I do. Past life regressionist here. I'm curious though, let's see, shall we? Since you wanted to play that game. Okay, I feel like there's one more. I need another deck, but let's see, shall we? Turning the light on, watch your eyes. Yeah, wisdoms of the heart. Remember what I said? These people are trying to attack the crown chakra also. 3022. Excuse me, the heart chakra. Tell me about this. Thorn tree, the sacred sign. Yeah, see? Alchemy. Yeah. They just kept being thorns in people's sides because it's familiar to them. It's what they've been doing for a long time. So they're being cleansed out. Fire that burns everything in its path. Well, these people jumped out of the frying pan and into the fire, and I promise you, they cannot handle the heat in my kitchen, nor can they handle the scald of the kettle in my tea corner. Thank you very much, darlings. That thing gets hot. Chaos. Told you, chaos, magic in reverse. That backfired on them, didn't it? Mirroring. Oh, no, that says the Morrigan. Yeah, what did I say? Yeah, you upset both sides of the Fae realm, both the Seelie and the Unseelie. Both answer to me, and neither like you. You're out of luck. Literally. That's why you have no healing. And you won't. Right relations, because you messed with the family of the Fae. That would be me. Poked your own eyes out with that evil eye, didn't it? All evil eyes went blind. Alchemical wand. Yeah, they can't do anything. Any magic that they sent backfired. And that's all I've got to say about that one. You know? Why did we do that? Because you thought you'd get away with it. Greasy little greedy pig. Thought you gained something out of it. Thought it was a nice, short little grift. What was it? Get rich quick scheme. Maybe even a long con. But nope. Long walk off a short pier you took, didn't you? Except you don't know how to swim. Can't relate. That's what they're drowning in their karma now. Yeah, I see that. Pouting. Oh, boo-hoo. You're not the victims, karmics. Leave people alone. Oh, they're mad at me. I see that. Dirty cop, dirty politician wanting to have me falsely arrested. Oh, that's not the first time. Because they're mad that I speak the truth. They know that they're going to jail. They know that the truth I speak, I hear. If anybody actually listens to her, if anybody steps in, you don't think they're watching? Did you know that when these people had me falsely arrested, what they actually did was qualify me for an appropriate attorney to, well, prove them wrong? So that backfires every time they do that. In fact, it happened twice. Because I could prove that they were lying and that I was not. And so they had me arrested on false charges for whistleblowing about crimes that I can actually prove have been committed. That's a cover-up. And I don't play that shit in this one. Thank you. Yeah, see, I told you. No. You stay away. It's a trap. 33. Yeah, see, they wanted to try to bind people. No, you're done. Yeah, that was a no for you. You did not have success in that, did you? Your little demons failed. Like I said, both realms answer to me. They either fear or respect and revere me, or both. And again, you're literally out of luck. All right. One more for you. Play around in my energy. Fuck around and find out. I'll read you right to filth and then watch the truth. Okay. Anything else? No, that's not the one. No, we're not doing that. Here we go. Told you, your spiritual team, ancestors, animals are showing you visions, signs, dreams. I know, these people want to attack. Haters performing hexes. Yeah, See, it's an attack. It's a business attack. But it's not a business rival. These are people who wanted to compete. But the reality is, if these people were actually on the level, we'd be collaborating. But they don't do that because they're karmic. Those of us at the top are too busy collaborating, not wanting to compete anyway. Recruiting more narcissistic people. Call her out of assholes. It's fine. Spreading lies, false rumors, assassinating your character, trying to cause you to have known and unknown enemies. How do you think that's going to backfire on you? Like I said, things never remain long hidden. The sun. The sun. The moon. And the truth, you buffoon. 3622. Foolish, you're foolish. Karmic, so she's jumping around because that's where the energies are going. I've got everything right in front of me, little sections, but the energies split, so that's what we're doing. Reading on each little weirdo who decided it was a good idea to lurk around, get their feelings hurt. Phone is tapped, hidden. I know that. I haven't said anything, but if you guys have heard the clicking in my speakers as they're playing music lately, I'm not stupid. That's my device is being tapped and hacked, but I don't have anything to hide. They do. It's not stopping me from doing anything. In fact, quite the opposite. They wouldn't be sweating so much if I wasn't a threat. I'm only a threat because they have things to hide, and I tell the truth. I'm a whistleblower, bona fide. There ain't no rest for the wicked. Yeah, see, hate, hackers, gang stalkers, told you. White collar crime. Also doppelgangers. Yeah, it's that chaos magic conflict spell doppelganger stuff. It's all the same. Because those local weird hacker people, those are the same ones involved with the little cult sending the chaos magics and spells. It's all the same. What did that say? Oh yeah, I got it. We already do. No need to hire somebody. But also, vibe tribe, teamwork makes the dream work. Because I know the collective is not happy. Old frenemies upset over some stuff that happened. They want revenge. Take a spiritual bath. I just got out of that, actually. So, like I said, they're late to the game. You know? Yeah, see, these are people who wanted... No, not me. Like I said, I'm very excited to go chill and hang out with myself. Wanted you to be upset, but it's because they are. No. Hater wants to use you as a sacrifice for personal gain, fame, record deal, insurance, inheritance. You already know who this person is. I know. Hello, Despicable Mean. How are you? Oh, I've been thinking about you today. I wanted to just let you know that I went to find your email. We talked about that the other day. I assumed it was probably in your description box. But I didn't see it in there, like in your about me. So I think you need to email me first, unless it's in a different spot and I didn't see it. But mine's in my about me here. Horizon Holistics, HOLISTICS at hotmail.com. HORIZON HOLISTICS. Yeah, see, group are plotting and planning. Here, there's nothing that they can do, though. Yeah, see, it says it's not going to work. I hear, why did we do that? Insiders are attacking you. Dirty cops, too. Possibly targeting children. Sounds like the judicial system to me. Like, that's why I pulled this deck out. I picked up a dirty cop. It's not the first time, but that's one of their ways to try to silence people. It's a gag order, pretty much. They think if they lock people up, then people won't be out to be able to whistle blow. That's why they do those phony revenge protection orders as well. They give abusers protection orders and they don't help victims because they think it's a way to silence the victim. And if the victim speaks up to get help, then they try to turn around and entrap the victim. But the whole thing's twisted. I don't have to explain it to you, you know. But anyway, like I said, I'm chilling. I'm excited to go hang out with myself. I'm going to do some cooking in a minute, and I got a movie going in the back, or I did before coming here. I'm just quickly checking in, touching base, finishing clearing these energies. Hi, cutie patootie. Haters performing spell work that will... Oh, okay, well, that's why I picked up that plagiarizer this morning, or this afternoon. I posted it in the community, who will be having health issues. Part of her karma coming back is I picked up likely in the form of health issues. Well, that would make sense if somebody's sitting there throwing health and death spells. People, thanks. But yeah, if this is either they've been blocked out from stalking, hacking, tapping, or that even though they're still doing it or trying to do it again, which, like I said, I've noticed it the last few days. If you've heard when I play music, not like the live feed glitching to the point where you can't hear my voice because it's skipping, but I mean, you hear the speaker, I'll do it now, you hear the speaker crackle, it's playing a song, and then all of a sudden you hear it pop. That's not normal. I replaced a new computer, ended up replacing a computer that needed to go, and it was a brand new computer, and this started happening, not right away, started happening after a little bit, a couple weeks, when these people realized I had one and tapped the device. And then I sent it out to the computer company and the phone, because they were doing it to that too, to two separate companies, a phone company and a computer company, that both verified that this is what's been going on. So it's not just my opinion or a simple observation. It's not, oh, she's paranoid. No, I sent the devices out to the companies that they came from, and that's what they said, and offered to replace them, did replace them, and it was fine again until a few weeks or a week or however long later, and they realized again that I did have a device, I just switched the systems, and then they hacked into that one too. So I don't, you know, these people will stop when they're behind bars. If I get a new device, they're just going to try to break into that one too. So I've got bigger fish to fry. The karmics, you couldn't handle what I've been through. You couldn't. I know you couldn't. Because if you could, you would never do this to people. You'd never treat people like this. You're garbage. Basura. I'll show her. Yeah. Your panties are in a bunch, and I hurt your feelings by telling you the truth. We get it. Get a grip. Get a couple, sir. It's a karmic mail. You're not gonna like it. Well, what? Another false report? Another gang stalking attack, harassment? Yeah, you're out of options, kid. Just on repeat, like the drug addict you are. I see that. Pie face. She's so psychic. I see right through you. I'm wildly tapped in. Thanks. Let's see, shall we? I've got a song for you. Speaking of, I heard this when I woke up this morning. Came out of a dream prophecy with it. I'm so excited to go hang out with myself in this Netflix movie. Kick it. Let's do this. They're plotting. You know what? It's giving little, okay, I'm gonna get hurt. Like little gremlin energy. You need help. You had them shut down email accounts that filed. So that what people can be tracked or something? Well, you said something about communication in email, so I'm here. If you would like to speak in email, feel free to just give me a shout from whichever one you're comfortable with. I'm not asking you to dox yourself here or put anything out here. That's why I haven't said anything. But I did try to email you as you asked, and I couldn't find where to do that. So I'm here. I think there needs to be another form of initiation, or just reach out to me first if that's what you'd like to do. Here we go. It's called I Can Never Die by Bear. Actually, you know what? Let's do this one.
Super Saiyan power, making dope.
No, it's not doing it.
Got a lot of flour. Just got out my cold shower. Pack a big bowl of sour. Smoke my own brand of flour. Look down and wave to all the doubters.
Hello, bitch.
If you think you've got advice for me, keep it to yourself. These bitches all think they so tight with me. Shit. Please tell me what you did. And I'm not talking about 500K likes on your pic, bitch. Y'all stay stressed about exterior. Hot girl.
It's funny. They're not doing it right now. But it's been pretty consistent lately. Come here, my lovey. And these are the same people who watch me online too, so that doesn't surprise me. But it even though at this particular moment it's not happening, it has for weeks. Every time I go live and have played, you can hear it. I just haven't said anything out loud about it. And I also have plenty of documentation. Like I took the phone to document the fact that the speaker was doing what it was on the laptop. So, no. Because I see that. I already know, okay, karmic is being called out for stalking, and so they either are spooked to do it at that particular moment, or they think, okay, well, I won't do it, and then I'll try to make her look crazy and paranoid, except for you don't, because I've already long since been documenting this for years. The police have copies of the videos. You can hear it and clicking, and just this last week, all week, you can hear it. I just didn't address it, but if I go back, it's already publicized there. It's not like you can hide it. Silly. Changed email lists with the bar and tore their responses apart. Response is trying to basically shoo you away, I'd assume. Yeah, well, I told the district attorney yesterday, I will take this to Supreme Court, or maybe it was this morning. I'm not playing games. It's not a joke. And you know what? I've got some past life regression on this. I've got a few. One of them is the Joan of Arc reference. These people persecuted the shit out of her. They thought that they were smarter than her. They thought that because she did not have comprehension of the legal system the way that they did as professionals, they could bend it and twist it away from her. They had her falsely entrapped because they thought it would wear her down and make her weak. And guess what? She never gave in. In fact, they are seen as horrible people even now through history, and she was canonized as a saint after they murdered her. So that backfired too. It always does. That's just one. I've got a few of those. I've got a few past life incarnation references where I can tell you exactly where these people are picking up their bad habits from and why they don't seem to want to let it go. Yeah. I'm sure they are. But guess what? I know they're afraid of me. I know that they know that I'm a threat because they wouldn't be trying so hard otherwise. Worst thing that they could have ever done was fuck with my kid. Made them immediate non-factors. zero ground to stand on. I'll ruin all of their careers to get her home safe, because they shouldn't have done that in the first place. And I don't have to do anything but tell the truth. They've ruined their own lives by trying to pull this on not just me, but all of us. And that's why I do it. It is for my daughter. I do it for her. But I also was a child. I haven't talked much about this here right quite this minute recently, but 30 something years ago, 20 plus years ago rather, I was in my daughter's shoes because the court system did the same thing, or at least a similar version of it, to my mother and I. And so then they turned around, talked about the generational curse card that came out earlier, and tried to do it again to us. These people have been vampirically, demonically siphoning from my bloodline for generations, and it's a hell no. God sent me as karma. That's all I've got to say about that. Other than the fact that they're going to pay for it, for doing this to me as a child, and then putting my child through what shouldn't have happened to me and could have been avoided with her, that I begged them to prevent. But also plenty of other people. I have been saying for years, before you popped up on my channel, I knew there were other victims. I knew that there must be other people. These people had this routine too down pat. They were so comfortable with it. Even if they switched tactics up a little bit, it's like they had such a bag of them. I knew they must have collected them over the course of time. And that's the truth. I knew that eventually more victims would come out, and they have been, and I applaud everybody. And I've said for years, I may not be the first victim, but we will be the last. No, they don't. This is the thing, is they've been running these patterns for so long, but they did not expect the people they targeted to remember, to have a bone to pick, to be able to come back with any kind of retributive justice in regards to balancing the scales, or to be able to create that through the system. They did not expect people to survive, let alone be smart and evolve and be able to come back around and overthrow their little kangaroo kingdom. The Freemason cult here did the same thing. Kevin Edgecombe, I called that cop out. Mind you, he cost the department here like $50,000 or something in another lawsuit, another false arrest lawsuit. What was his name? Eli Duran McDonald. Yeah, the AI and the process. Good. But they changed their website. Well, no, first I called them out, and I thought they were going to bully me into silence and attack me. Then I noticed that because I continued to call them out, and he got heat. It's supposed to be a secret society. He got heat for doing too much and bringing negative backlash to the whole group. They demoted him, which is what those little cults do. It's a humiliation ritual. They thought that they would bully me into a humiliation ritual, so I would submit to whatever they wanted, and they could energy harvest and swap and whatever from me through, it's very sacrificial, using women and children to do it, you see. And I'm so glad he got out of here. I'm so glad that he got what he did and got out. And so I called that out. I noticed that they demoted him. And I called that out. And right after that, they took their website offline. And I don't think a cult-ass secret society who did everything that they could to have me falsely imprisoned would do that if they weren't sweating their nuts off right now. Frankly. Okay, so speaking of, and I do feel like this plays into that, these cards, absolutely. Okay, destructive, manipulation, media for personal gain, fraud, projects doomed to failure because they're enemies of the light. They're enemies of source. January 11th to January 15th, May 19th, May 20th in the morning, August 3rd, October 16th, December 27th, March 7th, 7:20 p.m. to 7:39 p.m. Also, then you have, how is their business going to fail? How is their life going to fail as a result of stealing and doing these nasty things to people? Hancock County took their website offline the day Vladik Filler spoke to the media. Did they now? I'm interested. Yeah, let's do this. My email is in the description box of all my videos. It should be in this one already too. If you go and you click on it, if you'd like to reach out to me there, that's where you can do so. Lack of love, absence of wisdom, perverse behavior, corruption, bad associations, tyranny, oppression, quarrels, perpetual conflict, yeah. Divorce, separation, disagreement. And I picked that up yesterday. I said, oh, so that's why I don't blame your husband, your little boyfriend for leaving you. It was a karmic female being nasty, getting caught for stealing from somebody and then attacking after getting called out. I'm like, now I see why your husband doesn't want to deal with you. I wouldn't want to deal with that either. Get a grip. Divorce, separation, selfish celibacy, refusing children out of egoism, and difficulty meeting a spouse. So this is why they're either isolated, right, or meaning people don't want to deal with them at all, or they leave. March 26th to March 30th. Oh, this is happening fast. See all the little instigations they wanted to cause the last couple of weeks. They thought that they were getting away with it. No, do you not know how Mercury retrograde works? That was just on a backswing. That was just the wind up, honey. It's coming straight forward. It always goes back direct. And these karmics were not focused on the right thing. Mercury retrograde to me is always the embodiment of Artemis. Yeah, see, they didn't want this free smoke, but they decided to bark up the wrong tree and got it. And I figured out all their bullshit. Mercury is when past cycles come back up. Maybe these people have been doing this for a long time and they thought that they could get away with it, and so they did it again, or if not to another person, right? They've done it to other targets before, so they picked a new one and thought, well, let's just do the same thing again. Or they came back and tried to pick a fight with the same target who had previously dismissed them. This is when karma comes back. I mean, I expected these karmics to come back and stir the pot because that's also what Mercury retrograde is indicative of. They don't know when to mind their business. They didn't learn their lesson, so they spin back on a toxic cycle, and that's why they try to spin the block on the light workers. It goes hand in hand, but that's when their karma comes back full swing too, because they were supposed to learn their lesson, to let it go and move on, you see. But they didn't. And so Artemis the Archeress is Mercury retrograde energy for me, meaning she's got the bow and arrow. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, how hard it is for you to pull back the arrow, if you know bow and arrow terminology. It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get the knock clicked into the string of the bow. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get your elbow propped up. Make sure your forearm's out of the way. Make sure that your posture's square with your jaw so that you don't miss, you don't snap it on yourself. It doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you aim properly, because when you do finally let that go, you'll make the mark. It doesn't matter, you already aimed properly. But these people are so busy trying to rush and hit the target that they miss it every time, and that's why they're catching karma. They're too busy. They're not focused on the right thing. We're focused on building and getting these people away from us. They're focused on trying to steal from us and attacking us. We're not the same. There's no competition. End of discussion. Lack of love, right? Absence of wisdom, exactly. Perverse behavior, corruption, bad associations. October 31st, polarizers made their account on that. day as well. And that's also when somebody's locals here involved in this whole portion and stuff that couple here. That's when they decided to get together to do spell work on Halloween. And so here, that's where some of these were born, so to speak. So everybody in the sterilized, as God said, cut off, scalded in the tea corner. The next book of this reading I have, I got a download of this earlier. Deb's got no tea because she stole it from me. So thank you. I appreciate that. I will absolutely share that. I hope it helps people. There's some Facebook pages on Maine corruption and stuff about the court systems in Maine, so I can link it in there. I'm sure that will help people. Okay, so March 22nd, June 4th, August 18th, August 19th, January 10th, October 31st, 12:20 a.m. to 12:39 a.m. And then the last couple we had were, you know what? I'm going to wait on those. We'll pause. Now, before I switch into this other one, let me just finish up this side channel that came through with the past life regression. I told you what I picked up off the cuff. Look, Native American, I got no roots. My home was never on the ground. So, monk or nun, yeah, see, they were persecuting people. People who were just naturally trying to live in their own environment, their own happy little spaces, and kept having to be uprooted. Native American Trail of Tears energy is giving similar persecution and migration, forced migration to the Romani. Yeah, Egypt also just came out, Atlantis as well. So these people were trying to target, or first of all, there's the ISIS plagiarism and that whole nonsense, and then some of these people trying to play in crystal energy. But again, these are not light people. These are not people who are embodying the frequencies that they're claiming to. In fact, these are the same types of people who are in opposition to that. These are the same types of people who, now in regards to this Atlantean energy, mind you, it's a reference of a peaceful islandscape energy where there's plenty of harvest for everybody. They work as a communal team there, right? They grow everything, and it's a sustainable environment. And then you've got people on the outside coming in who want it. They want to snatch someone else's harvest from them, and it's that kind of an energy. And so we've been blocking these people out that have no business coming near us. We already understand the lesson. They're not healthy for us. They don't have any authority in our lives, and they did not have any authority to try to play God, judge, and jury in our lives either, especially while trying to isolate good mothers from their children or unintelligently slander them to try to do it. Yeah, because God saw that and isn't happy about it. And Sky Daddy has a bone to pick with you, losers. God said, I counted every tear she cried. Sky Daddies, karmics were mean. I'm gonna get your daughter back. I'm bringing Aspen back. Yeah, thank you. I heard that too. I'll just be quiet about it for now. There's a lot that I haven't said lately, for good reason. All right, let's see. Peb's got no tea. So those were the side energies. Picked up that false arrest energy from dirty cops or politicians. Then there was this past life energy that came up and why these people have been spinning these cycles. Clarity. Yeah, see, there it is. And I'm wildly tapped in, I said. Oh, and I told you. Every evil eye will go blind. It's a water sign, negative water sign. Yep, that's why I got Scorpio stern, told you in the beginning. But God saw that and says, no, they might be big mad, but you're safe. Don't worry about it. They're in trouble. They shouldn't have done that to you. Yeah. Sky Daddy, these karmics are being mean. Oh, don't worry, daughter. I got you. Connor Price up. It's referencing Lazarus, so resurrecting your aspects of your life or coming back into yourself after a long cycle or people tried to tear you down, first of all. But he also says something about letting God swing. Protect yourself. There it is. However, there have been some cases where God has called me to speak. And that there's a difference. There was a karmic who tried to plagiarize and copy something that I was saying last night. I noticed it today. And she was saying something in this about very reckless and impulsive. Oh, she's so mad. I feel that. Why do you have to expose me? Why do you have to keep stealing? About letting God get the lick back, basically. Except for it's not about a petty tit for tat thing, which is exactly what these karmics were trying to do when they didn't want to stop stealing or being ignorant when called out for doing things they shouldn't have been doing in the first place. Yet they were being dark. So they were trying to be petty and get their lick back. We were just defending ourselves if necessary, and there's a difference. However, the concept of lick back would be, in this karmic's mind, petty revenge. It's not. When I say I'm getting my lick back, I mean I'm getting justice and judgment for your bloodlust. When I say I'm getting my lick back, it means you wanted to stir the pot because you thought, what, it was just an argument? We were just beefing? No, I'm going to press legal charges on you. How about that? Because I can prove what you did, and no matter how you try to argue it or lie, your opinion is irrelevant. You see? Yeah, I let God handle it. No, you haven't. You've been trying to be petty. Stealing more content and then posting more of that stolen content because you're mad you got called out for stealing content in the first place. Copyright infringer. Okay? Reckless and impulsive you are. Young Padawan. Learn your lesson. So, yeah, I know. They're on low vibes. Just flew out. Also, air sign. Freeze them. They're stuck. There's no need to call back the energy. I've already done that anyway. But there's no need to. That's why it's in reverse. Because their energies are low. You can't have my energy. That's mine. Some of these people feel like when you call them out, they feel like they're losing, you're taking from them. No, they took from you. You're just taking it back. And they've confused the fact that that wasn't their energy. They got so used to living off of yours or feeding themselves with yours that now that they feel like they're starving when you cut your supply off from them, they feel like it's your fault. No, it's your fault for being a vampire. Get a grip. Get a couple, in fact. Stupid. So silly. Yeah, see, I split the deck. They want to be you. No. You're good. So the whole, see, people can see it too. And so this is somebody who wanted to keep causing problems. And they thought that that would be the way to get what they wanted or get their quote-unquote lick back, or that a light worker calling them out was getting their lick back, or no, that was God calling us to speak the truth. But God is truth, and you're being a dark little demon, you thief. So what do you mean? The other reference was calling these people out in general. That was one. Continuing to have to call them out as they keep committing these offenses or committing new ones. And there was this karmic energy who was like, well, yeah, you keep posting about me when I'm stealing from you. So no, it's not free advertisement for you. It's free advertisement for me because I'm legitimate and OG. You're stealing from me. In fact, it's ruining your reputation, and we both know that. And if you didn't, that's because you're still delusional, honey. Not because I said so. Because you need to get a couple grips. 10:22 on the clock here on the East Coast. Yeah, see, that's why you're getting karma. You're in trouble. But 3 things never remain long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. People can see through your shit. And I'm Gucci. But you're not. I can tell you're deeply confused, though. Your behaviors and your energy are speaking for you. It doesn't matter what you said. Like I said, you're going to learn these boundaries of consent the hard way. Clearly. Yeah, see? It's not cloud chasing. You can't chase cloud off. It's ruining your reputation, in fact. Because you built your false reputation off of stealing from me. So people are seeing that that's who I am, not who you are. People don't want to deal with you because they see that you stole from me. Yeah, how'd that work out for you, bitch? It didn't. Trying to one-up you in reverse. Trying hard to lower your self-esteem. Yeah, that's not working for you either, is it? I told you, mad because they want to hate, but they can't help but sneak love you. Obviously, they're stealing and copying. You wouldn't do that if you weren't obsessed with me. Do you have a crush on me or something? Yeah. Being punished for their wrongdoings. And I see it. These karmics think that they can poke the bear. Let me try to provoke this person. Let me try to stir the pot. And then if they say my name, I can try to claim that I'm the victim. And I can try to get... Shut up. You don't think I haven't seen that before, you ugly hag? It's called the Darvo tactic in narcissism, and your personality disorders are showing. They're ugly, bitch, just like your spirit. All right? I bet you hear me now. Ho. Because I saw that too, you harlot. Yeah, well, you're going to stay there too. Negative attitude. You're their karma. Do what you need to do. Told you, God sent me as karma. I'm not making it up. I'm not being mean. I'm not being sassy. I'm channeling, and you don't like the truth that God has to say because you're a demon. Demon. Yeah, that's a no. It's in reverse. You know why? Because they've been blocked. You can't. There's no battle. It's not even a competition. Bye. Because they're making the wrong choice. They just didn't know when to pump your brakes. Yeah. Will Smith. You know what? I picked that up earlier too. It's karmic. One of them I had to call out in the community board today. She's been trying to pull cards or something. She's been trying to read on me. No, bitch. Also, the fake account thing. I took screenshots of those yesterday too. Yeah. Copycat. Do you hear my voice? I'm bored of you, bitch. I'm bored. You are boring. Get out. I've got better things to do, like kick it with the cats in a movie. It's much more fun than you. Divine Masculine. I heard it earlier too, and I didn't say it. I want to join you. I want to come hang out with you. I'm fucking fun. Come hang out. Because I'll enjoy myself by myself, but these karmics can't join me. Yeah, not even a scam artist. You failed. Bitch, move on. And certainly not creative. I'm not an artist at all. Anything else? I feel like I want to drop the mic, but this channel's not quite closed yet. There's something else. Hold on. Okay, you're right. No more decks, but they did say something about herbology, didn't you? Thank you. I love you. Let's put these away and clear my space first. Also light a bit of sage. I see that. That's funny. Where's the karmic female? She's mad. What are you laughing at, bitch? I'm laughing at you. Shush. Well, fine. I'm gonna laugh at you too. I don't know what you have to laugh at. You're the one copying me. You look like a clown, dude. That doesn't even make sense for you. I can laugh at you. You're a joke. You have nothing to laugh at me for. That's projection. You feel insulted that I'm laughing at you because you're being stupid. So you want to laugh at me because you think it'll hurt my feelings. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm not the one being dumb, idiot. You are. Clearly. Obviously you don't know how this works or whose kitchen you're in right now, but let me remind you. Do I need to slide my credentials back across the table again? Here, I've got a few more cards for you. Sexual abuse and squandering, debauchery, short-lived affairs. Oh, I told you, harlot. There it is. Prostitution. Ho. That's why I was picking that up. Abuse of power. Oh, fanaticism. Yeah, because you're a fan. You stalking obsessed fan. You stalking obsessed stan. Extreme violence. Relentless struggle. It's because you're catching karma and you won't learn your lesson. Difficult destiny, because they don't want to learn their lesson and try to snatch someone else's destiny. Rigidity. They didn't want to learn their lesson. They just kept going on a path that wasn't for them, trying to force their big flat feet into Cinderella's glass slipper and then wondering why they got blisters and bruises and cut their toes off in the process. Despondency, discouragement, fear, illness, divine masculines laughing. I don't know. I mean, okay. I think this is kind of twisted. I don't think it's really funny, except for now I'm laughing because you're laughing. He says I'm laughing because you're serious. Well, well, there's that. Ugh, that makes sense. Does not believe in a higher power. Well, it doesn't matter. Karma's still real. The universal law is still real, and so is the law on earth, as above, so below. Discouragement, fear, illness. Oh, told you. Because they wouldn't leave people alone, or they were sending death spells or health spells at people, including, like I said, not business rivals, but somebody who tried to be in the same field and put themselves in secret competition, period, let alone any competition, and then also got even more mad when they lost, despite the fact that they didn't have your permission or consent in the first place. Like I said, they're being forced to learn that one this week, aren't they? Yeah. Despondency, discouragement, fear, illness, does not believe in higher power. That was the other thing. They wanted people to be sick or tired or lazy or dead so that we couldn't come to work or couldn't come to speak or couldn't come to just be our full self, show up in the world as ourselves, as we were called and guided to do, because we were so tired from the attacks, the energy attacks, the vampirism, the abuse, that we couldn't show up into the world, and then people wouldn't know, they thought, that they were copying from us, because there would be nothing to compare to, right? If we weren't on the scene, then how would people know that they were copying us? How would they know? That's what these people thought, and that's why they didn't want people around. They did not want us around so that they could steal our shoes without consequences, in whatever form that is. Seeking material possessions like that, dogmatically religious, seeking to convert. And this is even trying to convince people not to believe in the divine, or trying to convince people to believe in these dark energies with them, or to go play with spell work or whatever. June 27th rather, July 1st, April 7th, June 23rd, September 6th, November 18th, January 27th, 6:20 a.m. to 6:39 a.m. Impatience, rebellion, resignation. So they're being told and forced now to put down the little accounts that they were making, trying to create businesses to copy and steal from people. That's a no. God said stop. Because I'm hearing it will kill them if they don't. They're going to get sicker and sicker because that's what they wanted for other people. Or that's what they were doing to other people. They didn't care that they were draining people or putting people in a spot to be drained from, for starters. They didn't want people to show up in their own lives or work because they wanted to be able to steal those things from others. So guess what? It's being snatched from them. Laziness, heedlessness, ignorance. Has no desire to learn, does not study, failed exams, paralysis in the face of adversity, excluded from positions of authority, media manipulation, that came up twice, seeking personal glory. So they lie, they steal and they copy and they lie because they want attention whores. But it's fraud, it's fraudulent. They're not real. They shouldn't be getting any kind of attention because they're being fake and stealing from people to do it. And they're not using the platforms that they've built by stealing from people for anything good, which is what the people they're stealing from are doing. So that's a no. You can't compete where you never compared. Seeking personal glory, media manipulation. It was selfish, incomprehension. And so they didn't think that there was anything wrong with what they were doing, or they didn't care. And that sounds like narcissism to me. Or some kind of cluster B. Does not keep promises. April 21st, that came out twice. Okay, and so that's the birthday, again, of one of the main people who has locally here chosen to gang up in a cult and send chaos and conflict spells, which is what these plagiarizers picked up on and answered because they're all in the same energy. They all remind me of each other or share the same zodiac signs or both. Really, both. March 27th, June 9th, August 24th, November 5th, January 15th, 2 a.m. to 2:19 a.m. And then the last one I have for this behavioral science is, oh, told you, what did I say? Black magic, satanic pact, renouncing God, atheism, possession, bewitchment, material interests, misfortune, despair, self-centeredness, agitated, incoherent, impatient, going against destiny and the universal laws. It's why God said, no, you may not do that to my light workers. You may stop immediately. July 23rd to July 27th, April 14th, June 28th, September 11th, November 23rd, February 1st, 8 a.m. to 8:19 a.m. Okay. Oh, you know what? Oh, actually, I'm being called to wait on that. Right. I can do that. That works for me. Thank you very much. Let's do that one. Interesting. Okay. Connect with others. So we have the water violet here, first and foremost. And then you have Lady's Mantle. And then also Marshmallow Root. Marshmallow is good for a lot of things, including sensitive stomachs. Lady's Mantle embodies a really prominent, very sage wisdom, feminine energy. And this, I mean, I had little chats in the comment section just in this live feed, so I'd say that that's accurate. You see. They're going to learn these boundaries the hard way. They don't have a choice. You hear me? They don't have a choice. They're going to learn these the hard way. Because I'm not playing games. Somebody says, why does it have to be the hard way? It didn't have to be. I gave them opportunities not to have to learn the hard way, in fact. But, you see, they did not want to listen. They wanted to be combative and spiteful. They wanted to try to prove me wrong, even though I'm not. And while I might stand here stern and defensive because I have been nothing but battered for 10 years and I'm not about to let people bully me and I'm about to put a final end to it, I don't wish bad things on these people. And I don't do it because, you know, I want the combat. I do it because they won't stop being combative, and there's a difference. You see. But this is why FREYA came back out this week. You see, I put her away. We were dealing with Isis energy and some other stuff. No, you called FREYA back into the building, ma'am. Ma'ams. Sirs. Karmics. It was just a bad idea for you. It was a terrible choice. 10 out of 10. Would not recommend. You know? Let's do a bit of Reiki while I'm here, shall we? 8822. Karmic says, I thought you were going to do some cooking. I am. Don't worry. About to hop off here and put on that movie and do some cooking, a little cleaning, get some nice sleep. You're the one sweating, honey. No, I'm not, because I know your routine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does, because I can try to fuck it up. No. If I was concerned about that, I wouldn't have told you, but I'm not, because you're, like I said, punk-ass little brat, and I'm not concerned. I outrank you. Toodles. Who says you outrank me? God. You wouldn't be so mad if it weren't true, demon. Why do you think I keep calling you out? I'm not afraid of you. Who do you think you are? I'm about to remind you, not shit, little bitch. In fact, just to be really clear, stay out of my energy field. They're so psychotic, like, just ugly. Inside or out? Both, I think. Because I see your spirit coming through your pores and it's nasty. Frankly. Yeah, criminal enterprises. Peb's got no tea, like I said, because she's been stealing from me. Criminal. Because she wanted fortune and fame. No. Yeah, told you. Just didn't want to stop being conflicting. No, that's a backfire for you. I'm done. Confirmation, that was all I needed with that. Don't waste my time. I didn't need that. Obviously she did. These karmics are going to learn that I don't need cards to read. They don't like what I'm speaking and the things that I post in the community board, but I'm channeling 100% of the time, okay? And so if you don't like what I have to say about that, you have an issue with God, not me. Because I always talk to God first. If I'm wrong about a situation or a person, or I'm misguided, or, you know, I'm not seeing the situation fully, or there's more to it or something, I always want to know, because I never want to be incorrect and I never want to misjudge people or a situation. That's bad karma for me. It's just negative. It's just negative for anybody. And it's a waste of time. And I understand how precious time is. And so I don't do that. But the people trying to combat me, yeah, they do. All the things that I don't do, they do. All the things that I double check to make sure that I'm not accidentally crossing a boundary on, or that I double check to make sure that I'm correct on, yeah, they don't pause to do that because they're reckless and impulsive. And that's why they can't compete where they don't compare. And so when I'm sitting here speaking, well, it speaks for itself. I think it's foolish. And I think they're stupid. And frankly, it makes me think that, no, I won't even get into that. I'll just say that. No, I'm gonna be quiet about that too. Lots of downloads. None of their business. Fortune, quest, abundance. Yep. Reaching for things though, but out of a space of unfairness and toxicity and impulse. Trying to snatch something from someone and force things to go in their way. And what did I just say about Isis? They threw the scales out of balance. And that's why they're getting karma. And they're stuck now because they tried to stick other people. They were impulsive and toxic, promiscuous. And like I said, these situations are being forced to end now because they didn't want to stop, but God told them to stop. And if they don't stop, if it's not the situation ending, right, the cycle closing once and for all, then it's God taking these people out. Like I said, that death prophecy where they wanted light workers to die so that they could live our lives. No, they wanted light workers to just go die so that people wouldn't know that they were copying us. Or they wanted us to be so sick and injured and tired and weak or ill from whatever they were harvesting or siphoning or trying to be a vampire to take, that we just wouldn't come out on the scene, or we wouldn't connect with our true love, or we wouldn't be our full selves. They did not want. That's so funny. They did not want to compete where they didn't compare, so they tried to destroy the competition. Well, that's not competition at that point. And you don't win any kind of title. That's a disqualification if that's how you're playing and that's what you think. That's wild. High priestess in reverse, claiming to be high priestess, claiming to be spiritual. No. They wanted to destroy the competition so that they didn't have to compete, because they knew that they could not compete where they don't compare. And we don't bother competing, right? We refuse to compete because there is no competition. They wanted to compete, but they didn't want the competition. They wanted our spot, but they wanted us to just go away so they could have it. What are you talking about? Yeah, I just split the deck, understanding. The one white crow. You can't compete where you never compared. I saw that. Silence, awareness, divine feminine. I'm going to drop the mic right there. Please remember to pray. Actually, let's do just a touch of Reiki before I go. 9522. But let me finish that sentence also. Do no harm, take no crap, and I'll catch you on the next one. There's abundance Reiki coming through. There's also effervescence Reiki, so elevation, healing, regeneration, and protection Reiki as well. If people were trying to be combative or target, this is all backfiring on them. There's a shield of, it's like a silver shield of protection here. It's more like prismatic. It hits all the rainbow points, all the chakric levels. And that's all I've got for tonight for you. Oh, please remember to pray. Do no harm. Once again, 9622, take no crap, and I'll catch you on the next one. Toodles.